TaBNWNE's Wikipedia News Edition. On third episode of Season 2 is Dacia. SC Automobile Dacia SA, commonly known as Dacia,
Dacia.
is a Romanian car manufacturer that takes its name from the historical region that constitutes present-day Romania.
The company was established in 1966.
In 1999, after 33 years, the Romanian government sold Dacia to the French car manufacturer Groupe Renault.
It is Romania's largest company by revenue and the largest exporter, constituting 8% of the country's total exports in 2018.
In 2021, the Dacia Mark sold 537,074 passenger and commercial vehicles. From January 2021 onwards, the Dacia company became part of Renault's Dacia Lada business unit.
In May 2022, Renault sold Lada's parent company AvtoVAZ to Russian state-owned Institute NAMI.
The first facility in the area was built between 1942 and 1945 as an extension of the IAR aircraft manufacturer.
The new factory, built in the Caligazi-Pătești area under the order of Marshal Ion Antonescu, conjugator of Romania during World War II, was scheduled to produce up to 600 aircraft engines per month.
The building work was completed in 1945.
After the war, the facility was taken over by the Romanian Railways, later generating the Dacia plants.
The Dacia Automobile Company was founded in 1966 under the name Uzina de Autoturism Pătești, UAP.
The main Dacia factory was inaugurated in 1968 in Caligazi, now called Mădăveni, near Pătești.
Dacia acquired the tooling and basic designs of the Renault 12.
However, until the tooling was ready, it was decided to produce the Renault 8 under license. It was known as the Dacia 1100.
From 1968 to 1972, 37,546 cars of Model 1100 were produced, with a very minor cosmetic change to the front in early 1970.
Also produced in very limited numbers was the 1100S with twin headlamps and a more powerful engine used by the police and in motor racing.
The first Dacia 1300 left the assembly line ready for the 23 August parade in 1969 and was exhibited at the Paris and Bucharest shows of that year.
Romanians were delighted with the modernity and reliability of the car, and waiting lists were always lengthy.
By 1970, there were two variants, the standard 1300 and the 1300L Lux. In 1974, the 1301 Lux Super was introduced, which had novelties such as a heated rear screen, a radio, wing mirrors on both sides, and a more luxurious trim.
This was reserved for the Communist Party nomenclatura.
Changes soon followed as export markets opened up.
In 1973, the estate variant 1300 brake was produced.
There were 1300F, estate with no rear seats, for carrying goods, and 1300S, ambulance variants, and in 1975 the Dacia 1302 pickup was developed.
2,000 units were made until 1982.
Dacia also produced the Estafette, a complete knock-down version of the Renault Estafette van in limited numbers, but given the competition of the Bucharest-made TV van, numbers were very limited.
In the very early 1980s, the Renault 20 was also assembled as the Dacia 2000 because of the exclusivity of this model. Numbers were always very limited.
The 2000 was only available in dark blue or black and was reserved for the party elite.
In 1978, plans were revealed for the Renault 18 to be assembled by Dacia, but the Renault contract lapsed and Dacia went its own way.
At the Bucharest show in 1979, the restyled 1310 models were presented.
These had quad lamps at the front, larger lamps at the rear, reprofiled bumpers, and a new interior.
The changes were heavily inspired by Renault's own restyling of its 12 in 1975.
After a brief series of crossover cars in 1981, for example, there were no more rectangular headlights available for the 1300. So the last models used the quad lamps of the 1310. The 1310 hit the Romanian market in late 1981.
In the UK, where it was known as the Dacia TaBNWNE, the top-of-the-range model included such luxuries as a 5-speed gearbox, alloy wheels and electric windows.
The advertising slogan used for the car was, "The very acceptable Dacia TaBNWNE."
Sales were very limited, and the number surviving are not thought to exceed 10, although the Romanian embassy in South Kensington kept the fleet running until the mid-1990s.
Sales of the pickup version, known as the Shifter, continued until the 1990s, and the AR-010 was also sold as the Dacia Duster.
Production was stopped in late 1982. At the same time the sport model was produced.
At the 1980 Bucharest International Trade Fair, crowds admired the Brazovia, a prototype of a sports coupe, based on the 1310 and developed at a service station in Brasov.
The go-ahead was given for a prestige model, and so from 1983 the two-door Dacia 1310 Sport, and later the 1410 Sport, was available for general consumption.
These were very popular for rallies, and racing drivers such as Nicu Grigoras tuned them to extract extraordinary power from the old Renault engine.
The designers were still coming up with fresh ideas, many of them shrouded in secrecy.
Prototypes such as the 500cc Mini Dacia, as well as Dacia 1310 variants, were designed. Some, such as the Dacia 1310 Maxi Brake, are still on the road.
These cars are eagerly prized by Dacia enthusiasts, and Dacia web forums are full of evidence about the rarities and oddities produced by Dacia during the 1980s.
The Maxi Brake was an 8-seater version of the station wagon, also available as an ambulance, stretched by about a half a meter between the doors.
10 to 12 such cars were actually built by Dacia serviced Vitesti. In 1982, after the 1302 was dropped, the Dacia 1304 pickup and drop side models were introduced.
Actually, they had been launched from 1981.
These were a commercial success and remained in production, gradually being modified along with the rest of the range, until December 2006.
In 1985, were added the 1410 was available as a larger engine variant, while the relatively short-lived 1210 was the economy variant until about 1992.
For the 1984 model year, the Deluxe NS and MLS models presented slight modifications on the 1310 platform, with a new spoiler and shunt gear, rubber moldings around the front grille and headlamps.
In In 1985, the rear vent was changed from a narrow horizontal aperture to a rhomboid aperture, much like that of the Renault 12 Phase 2.
From late 1985 all models had a large rubber molding around the front grille and headlamps, plus a spoiler. The lineup was changed to TX and TLX, though other designations were occasionally seen.
A 5-speed gearbox also became an option.
Models destined for Canada, initially called GTL, sported twin fuel tanks.
In parallel, work was developing on the 1320 CN1 model, which was a hatchback, based on the 1310.
The new front-end scene on the 1320 also appeared on the top of the range in special order models from about 1986. These cars were distinguishable by two large headlights, a much plusher interior clad in blue plastic, and a new dashboard known as the CN1, and occasionally faired and door handles.
Many were owned by senior officials in the Communist Central Committee.
While the 1320 was the most expensive model in the Dacia range when it appeared in 1988, many were used as taxis.
The 1320 did not last long, however. As early as 1989 there were prototypes using the front of the 1320 and a new rear, with wraparound tail lights and other relatively modern features.
The 1320 model emerged in 1991 as the Dacia 1325 Liberta. After the 1989 revolution, themes of liberty were very much in fashion and stayed in production until 1996. The last of the quad-length models were produced in 1992, and all the Dacia range received the new front end of the 1320, called CN1.
An effort was made to rejuvenate the model range. The Sport was dropped due to lack of sales, and new commercial vehicles were introduced.
The 1307 was a double-cab pickup. The 1309 was an estate with a tarpaulin instead of a boot. The car was a crossover between estate and pickup and sold very well on the Chinese market.
There were also several prototypes, including the 1610 diesel estate, powered by Volkswagen, with about 150 units sold.
The Dacia Star, with curved side windows.
And the 1308 Jumbo, a camper van, and several attempts to give the 1310 a more modern look, by grafting the front of contemporary cars such as the Nissan Primera onto it.
The cars of 1992 to 1994 are curiosities. Although efforts were obviously being made to renew the model range, there were numerous stylistic hangovers from the quad-length models.
Thus, the last of the 1983 designed dashboards were seen in 1994, although a new dashboard had been seen on some model ranges since 1987.
Similarly, although the CN1 restyling eliminated anachronisms such as a kink upwards at the seat pillar and a rubber rear spoiler, it was not applied consistently. The 1994 facelift was known within the industry as CN2.
A reprojected front end was distinguished by a horizontal metal line in the grille.
There were new headlamps, a new radiator grille, and front and rear bumpers.
Inside, there was a new dashboard for the base models, while the top-of-the-range cars had luxuries such as body-colored bumpers, rear head restraints, a radio cassette, hubcaps, and the ever-present CN1 dashboard, this time in black plastic.
This model was not to stay in production for very long. In 1995, the CN3 type was introduced.
Practically the only differences were those of trim level and the radiator grille.
From late 1994, little attention was paid to the improvement of the 1310 range, as Dacia launched a new model, the Dacia Nova.
This was a compact saloon/sedan or hatchback with a three-box design.
The design was rather outdated because development work had started in 1983.
The Nova is a 100% Romanian design, started after the end of any French involvement in Dacia.
The model was unpopular due to reliability and rust-proofing issues.
However, after improvements in 1996, the Nova became more often seen on Romanian roads.
In 1998, a 7-seater prototype was produced using the panels and windows from the standard Nova saloon. In 1998, the anniversary year of 3 decades of production since the first Dacia rolled off the assembly line, vehicle number 2 million emerged from the plant. This year saw the last restyling of the 1310.
It was known as CN4 and involved a comprehensive restyling of the front end, new door handles, and a lightly restyled rear view mirror.
The estate version was fitted with larger tail lights.
Even though the model was over 30 years old, it sold exceptionally well due to a starting price of about €4,200 and high availability of parts.
Goodies such as a fuel injection also helped keep the model relatively modern. In 1999, a special edition was produced for the first time, known as Dacia Dedicati.
This luxury version of the saloon and estate had alloy wheels, body-colored bumpers, power steering, electric windows, and a far better level of finish.
The models were all painted two-tone silver and sold at a significantly higher price.
From 2002, the cars became known as Berlin on brake, with a 1310 lettering being relegated to an insignificant position underneath the side light.
On 21 July 2004, the last models of the 1300 series rolled out the gates of the Minivan production facility 1 month before their 35th anniversary.
The last Dacia 1310 saloon version, number 1,979,730, will be kept in the Dacia Museum.
On 8 December 2006, the utility Dacia pickup suffered the same fate.
Although many improvements have been made in recent years, such as four-wheel drive, the introduction of a 1.9 diesel engine, the dashboard from the Dacia Salenza, also seen on the last 1310s, and wheels fastened by 5 studs as opposed to 3, Romania's entry to the European Union effectively prevented the continued production of the old models.
The assembly lines will be remodeled and expanded to increase production of the Dacia Logan. In over 34 years of production and more than 2.5 million units produced, the Dacia 1300/1310 easily became the most common car on Romanian roads.
A large number of people have become adept at carrying out repairs or homemade modifications.
For example, many older cars have newer front ends grafted onto them to make them seem more modern, or purely because newer parts were easier to get.
Consequently, original early 1300s are quite rare, with prices steadily increasing for the best preserved models.
Tuning of Dacias is also a popular pastime, although the homemade nature of much of the work casts doubt on the level of quality, safety, and reliability of the finished product. According to popular belief, during the communist era, in the plant where Dacias were made, there were 2 assembly lines, one line producing Dacias intended for sale in Romania and the other line producing the same car. allied from superior parts and assembled with greater care for export.
Romanians living near the border would commonly purchase their Dacia in neighboring countries expecting a higher level of quality.
Meanwhile, work was continuing on the other Dacia models.
In September 1999, Dacia became the third brand of the Renault Group, with a view to making Romania its hub of automobile development in Central and Eastern Europe, and investment was consequently increased.
The first sign of this came in 2000 with the introduction of the Supernova, an improved version of the Nova with engine and transmission from Renault.
The top-of-the-range version had air conditioning, electric windows and a CD player.
Sales were very good, although the outdatedness of the concept was striking.
Dacia sold 53,000 vehicles in 2002, an almost 50% market share in Romania.
In 2003, a restyled version replaced the Supernova with Dacia Silenza, featuring a new interior, the options for an airbag.
This was, however, only meant to be a stopgap model filling the need for a saloon model before the introduction of the all-important Dacia Logan. Dacia Logan, as well as to familiarize workers with the demands of manufacturing a model acceptable to Western European markets.
Production was stopped in 2005. The Dacia Logan is the most successful model since the original 1300.
It was introduced after considerable media interest in August 2004, and despite design-related criticism, it became one of the top-selling cars in Central and Eastern Europe, as well as Russia.
The Logan is sold in many countries, occasionally under the Renault brand.
It was awarded 3 out of 5 stars in NCAP crash testing.
It remains, by far the best-selling car in Romania, comprising a 43% share of Dacia's total Romanian sales in 2015.
A diesel version was also introduced in 2005.
Before its launch, it was known as the €5,000 car due to its projected launch price.
This was never quite the case, although it is one of the cheapest cars for its size on the market.
In 2006, the prototype Logan Step was exhibited.
This showed a speculative 4x4 estate version of the Logan.
The estate version was launched in late 2006.
The van, basically an estate with the rear windows filled in a separate cabin for the driver, was launched in February 2007 after the stopping production of the classic utility vehicle, the Dacia pickup.
The Renault Technology Romani Engineering Center was set up in 2006 in Bucharest, Romania.
Employing approximately 2,500 engineers, its main fields of activity are the development, testing and design of the new vehicles in the Dacia range, as well as the marketing and technical support.
The following year, the company also set up a styling office, Renault Design Central Europe. A pickup model and the Logan, based hatchback Sandero, were launched in 2008, the latter at the Geneva Motor Show.
This also marked the point of rebranding for the company, which adopted a new logo and later the same year launched the facelifted Logan model.
In 2009, a new concept, called the Dacia Duster, was unveiled at the Geneva Motor Show, signaling manufacturers' intentions of releasing an SUV model.
This was reportedly the inauguration of the platform that would be used for the second generation of the Logan and Sandero models, released in 2012.
In 2010, the Dacia Duster was exhibited at the Geneva Motor Show.
It is the first crossover SUV built by Dacia since the Renault acquisition in 4x2 and 4x4 versions.
It was revealed on 8 December 2009 and became available in Europe on 18 March 2010. In September 2010, a testing center was opened in Chitu, Romania, as part of Renault Technology Romania.
It is intended for developing and optimizing the new vehicles. In the Dacia range and has 9 types of track, with a total length of 32 kilometers and around 100 test benches, used to test the resistance of vehicles and replacement parts to cold, heat and rain.
In 2012, Dacia Logi, a new compact MPV, was revealed at the Geneva Motor Show.
It is based on a new platform and is manufactured at an all-new Renault factory in Tangier, Morocco.
The Docker, released in June 2012, is a slightly smaller leisure activity vehicle, also manufactured in Tangier, sharing the same platform with a Logi, available in passenger and camo van variants. In September 2012, the second generations of the Logan and Sandero were revealed at the Paris Motor Show.
They feature a common front-end design and come with improved standard safety features, a new engine and other new comfort equipment.
The following year, the facelifted Duster was presented at the Frankfurt Motor Show.
It received mild modifications to the front and rear ends, the new interior introduced on the new Logan and Sandero models, as well as a new turbo-charged petrol engine.
At the 2017 Frankfurt Motor Show, the second generation Duster model was introduced, bringing new comfort and technical improvements, but retaining similar dimensions and engines. According to reports, in September 2018, Automobile Dacia gained 14th place in top 500 CEE companies. Dacia's CEO, from April 2016 until May 2018, was Evi's Karakatsanis.
He was replaced by Antoine Delcerin, who left after only 4 months due to personal reasons.
After a brief stint by interim manager Jerome Olive, the position was filled by Christophe Dridi in December 2018. In 2020, Dacia announced that they would be releasing an electric car, which they showcased in March 2020 with a Dacia Spring electric concept.
The Dacia Spring is said to be based on the Renault City KZE and is said to become the cheapest electric car in Europe, with a price being estimated by Romanian media at around 15,000 euros to 20,000 euros.
In January 2021, Denis Lovat became the CEO of the Dacia Lada business unit.
As part of a company revamp, Renault said it would integrate the Dacia and the Lada marques into a new business unit.
It also unveiled a new Dacia logo and a product offensive for the Dacia mark, widening its market segments coverage. In March 2021, the production version of the Dacia Spring EV was shown at the Renault E-Race event by Group Renault executive Denis Lovat.
The Spring will be sold in LHD areas of Europe, alongside updated Sandero and Logan models, announced at the end of 2020, and will have a car-sharing version, called the Spring Business.
The company's single plant is located in Liveni, Romania, together with its headquarters, and has a production capacity of 350,000 vehicles per year.
It is divided into several sections, such as bodywork, painting, assembly, mechanical and chassis, foundry, etc.
It It works in conjunction with the Renault Technology Romani Engineering Center, located in Bucharest and set up in 2006, which also comprises a styling office, Renault Design Central Europe, and with a testing center located in Tietu, that was opened in 2010. A large logistical center was also set near the plant in March 2005, the International Logistic Network, from where complete knockdown, CKD, chips are exported to other Renault production sites in Russia, Morocco, Colombia, Argentina, Brazil, South Africa, Iran and India.
It is reportedly the biggest logistics center of its kind, not only in the Renault Group, but in the global automotive industry.
In 2012, the total equivalent of the kits sent worldwide from the center was 920,646 vehicles. Two of the Dacia models, the Logi and the Docker vans, are manufactured at the Renault factory in Tangier, Morocco.
The Logan and the Sandero are also manufactured in Casablanca, Morocco, the latter also in Tangier.
Faced with a growing demand for automatic gearboxes in Europe and significant demand in Russia, South America and India, Renault has decided to develop a specific automatic gearbox, called EZR.
Innovative, it replaces hydroelectric technologies, hydraulics controlled by electronics, with electromechanical elements.
The result is a more reliable and more affordable automatic transmission.
Dacia is indeed offering this equipment from 2015 in Europe at a price of €600, which is at least half the price of the competition.
The number of parts has been reduced by a quarter, ensuring better reliability and simplified maintenance.
4 modes are available on the EZR control gearbox, also indicated on the dashboard: D/drive, N/neutral, R/rear and M/manual impulse.
This EZR gearbox keeps fuel consumption identical to that of the manual gearbox, while offering the advantages of a traditional automatic gearbox. The Dacia brand is marketed in most of the Western and Eastern European countries, as well as in some Northern African countries, such as Algeria, Tunisia and Morocco.
Western European exports began in the late 1970s, entering markets like Belgium and the Netherlands in 1978.
Its models have also been produced by Renault in its production sites on other continents, in Russia, Iran, India, South Africa, Colombia and Brazil, and sold under its own brand or other specific local brands, such as Mahindra, Lada or Nissan for example. In 2012, Dacia sold a total of 359,822 vehicles, of which approximately 230,000 were exported to Western Europe, the most of them in France and in Germany.
Besides the domestic market, its other key markets have been Algeria, Turkey, Italy and Spain.
For 2014, the company sold 511,465 vehicles in 43 countries, thus breaking another record and exceeding the 500,000 threshold.
On 6 May 2014, the main Dacia plant Mini reduced its 5 millionth car, approximately the 3 millionth car, since Renault owns the brand.
The 3.5 millionth Dacia car, since the Dacia brand revival 10 years before, was sold in the UK in November 2015. In 2015, the company set a new sales record, with a total of 550,920 units marketed. Dacia car sales exceeded 700,000 units in 2018, 7% more than in the previous year. The historical sales figures of all the models are the following, under the Dacia brand only. Current models of Dacia are Dacia Duster 2, 2017 to present.
Dacia Duster Pickup, 2020 to present.
Dacia Logan 3, 2020 to present.
Dacia Sandero 3, 2020 to present.
Dacia Sandero Stepway 3, 2020 to present.
Dacia Spring Electric, 2021 to present.
Dacia Spring Cargo, 2021 to present.
And Dacia Jogger, 2022 to present.
Dacia will launch 2 new models after the Bigster by 2025.
Dacia Duster 3, 2024.
And Dacia Bigster, 2025. Former Dacia models are Dacia 1100, 1968 to 1972.
Dacia 1300, 1969 to 1979.
Dacia 1301, 1970 to 1974.
Dacia D6 Estafette, 1974 to 1976.
Dacia 1302, 1975 to 1982.
Dacia 1210/1310/1410, 1979 to 2004. Dacia TaBNWNE in the United Kingdom.
Dacia 1304 Pickup, 1979 to 2006.
Dacia 2000, 1980 to 1982.
Dacia Duster, 1983 to 1990s, -AR010 in the United Kingdom.
Dacia 1310 Sport/1410 Sport, 1983 to 1992.
Dacia 1320, 1985 to 1989.
Dacia 1305 Dropside, 1985 to 2006.
Dacia 500 Weston, 1988 to 1991.
Dacia Liberta, 1990 to 1996.
Dacia 1309, 1992 to 1997.
Dacia 1307 King Cab, 1992 to 2003.
Dacia 1307 Double Cab, 1992 to 2006.
Dacia Nova, 1994 to 1999.
Dacia Supernova, 2000 to 2002.
Dacia Salenza, 2003 to 2005.
Dacia Logan 1, 2004 to 2012.
Dacia Logan 1 MCV, 2006 to 2012.
Dacia Logan Van, 2007 to 2012.
Dacia Logan Pickup, 2008 to 2012.
Dacia Sandero 1, 2008 to 2012.
Dacia Sandero Stepway 1, 2008 to 2012.
Dacia Duster 1, 2009 to 2017.
Dacia Logan 2, 2012 to 2020.
Dacia Logan 2 MCV, 2012 to 2020.
Dacia Sandero 2, 2012 to 2020.
Dacia Sandero Stepway 2, 2012 to 2020.
Dacia Logan 2 Stepway, 2019 to 2020.
Dacia Docker, 2012 to 2021.
And Dacia Logi, 2012 to 2022.
Prototypes of Dacia models are Dacia Brazovia Coupe, 1980.
Mini Dacia, 1980s, prototype made from cut-down Dacia 1310 panels and easily changeable, from hatchback to pickup to convertible according to removable panels.
Dacia Jumbo High-Rise Van, 1990.
Dacia Nova Minivan, 1998.
Several prototypes of the 1310 with diesel, LPG or smaller engines throughout the model history.
Dacia Star, 1991.
Dacia 1310 convertible, 1987, reproduced.
Dacia 1306 Saloon, derived pickup, 1994/5, very small series.
Dacia 1310 brake limousine, late 1980s, stretched to state with 7 seats, several produced in normal, roof to high roof variants.
Dacia D33, 1997, prototype made by Idea Design House in Turin, one model only.
Dacia 1310 4x4/R12, late 1980s, estate derived 4x4, very small series.
A Dacia Duster concept car, 2009.
From the 2008 to 9 season, Dacia was the sponsor of Italian Serie A football club Udinese Calcio and Stadio Friuli. Dacia became the official car partner of the Rugby League Super League and the Challenge Cup in February 2016 and then deepened their support of the sport by becoming the main sponsors of the men's, women's and wheelchair England teams in June 2017.
They also became the principal partner of the Great Britain Rugby League Lions in 2019 for the team's 4-match tour of New Zealand and Papua New Guinea. That's it for this news all today. Thank you for watching. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel and turn on post notifications for more great contents, and see you in episode 4.